All right, we made it for a second time in a row.
Yes, sir.
We drove to New York.
The Big Apple.
Yeah. On s'en va déjeuner, puis après, on va aller rejoindre notre ami Igor à la shop qui est pas loin d'ici. So, on a un petit peu d'avance, question d'aller se nourrir et on va aller rejoindre Igor tout de suite après. Évidemment, ben, lui il traîne en arrière avec son petite caméra. It's either he's waiting for me with my camera or I'm waiting for him with his camera. So, yeah. It's a mutually unbeneficial relationship.
It's pretty much like exactly like it looks like in video games or movies or TV shows. I don't know, I think as soon as you see like the cockpit and IPV on it, you're like, yeah, all right, I'm here. I don't know why that logo is so like,
yeah, it's like
what's the word? I'm like
iconic.
Yeah, iconic.
Like same thing for me. Like seeing fucking Times Square at night was a totally different experience.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer to see it at night. Like, see it during the day would be cool too, just to see the contrast between the two.
But like the city itself, and during the day you see a lot more of the detail and shit. But like Times Square at night, it's something on its own.
Yeah, its own like night details that you need to see.
Were you actually already chatting with Igor before we started like trying to figure out a way to get him out of South America, or?
I was a little bit, yeah. Like we followed each other on Instagram and just like comments like, "Holy shit, that's a great haircut," or you know, whatever. The fire emoji. That's like the #1 compliment you can ever give a barber.
Fire emoji.
But yeah, you know, not like a whole lot of communication. But once I saw that he was like leaving, you gotta like reach out and like, "What? How can I help you, man? Like, what do you need? What can we possibly?"
Yeah, like people think like, oh, it's fun to be in Mexico and there in South America, like Central or whatever, like South America or whatever, but
I mean, traveling's awesome, but
when you travel, it's one thing. When you try to live there and you got no access to, you know, paperwork, visa and shit, and like everything is kind of shady, and you want to, like he fucking escaped from Russia, like he flew from Russia out of there, like you leave everything behind, you want to have something to.
We need a home base.
Yeah.
Like traveling's awesome, but you always have to have a home base to go to where you can recharge, where you can put your stuff, where your life is, where you picked up, you know.
You don't have to go very far in history to understand why, you know, they still to this day like are very cautious about, you know, what they speak and to who they speak, is, you know, you go back.
You never know who's listening.
So, what's your expectations for today?
Have my mind blown?
Huh?
Have my mind blown?
So funny that we got to, I mean, we've been talking, like you've been talking with Igor even longer than me. We've been chatting back and forth for so long, and then it's up to New York and we finally get a chance to meet in person. In terms of training, like there's any particular technique you see Igor doing that you're like, oh shit, like I want to know how he does that, or it's more like just seeing someone else work.
That's the one. We all do the same thing. We all do it differently. So techniques are great, and I'm sure I'll pick something up. It's more like I want to see how your hands work. I want to see posture. Like how are you positioning your body? He's such a character in his videos, so it'd be interesting to see like how much of a character he is behind a chair.
I think you have a special guest coming in right now, so It's just a perfect setup for.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Igor,
It's a pleasure.
how are you?
Finally. Cory, my friend.
Hello.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, finally. Yeah.
Okay, Igor, so we're pretty much done with your master class here, okay, in New York. We've been talking together for a bit, like since you decided to move away from Russia. Like I know you and Cory were talking together for a long time, and then when we kind of knew that you were down in South America and you just got there, we kind of got in contact and stuff. And you want to talk a little bit about, like, you know, what actually, you know, made you to leave your country to go somewhere else?
Yeah, unfortunately, the main reason for me to leave from Russia was like political situation in my home country because of the dictatorship, and after the war was started in Ukraine, me and my wife, became too dangerous for us to stay in Russia, and we decided to leave. And when we did it, we didn't have, you know, like whole idea what we are going to do next. So we just left with some stuff, like one suitcase that I had with almost all of our life, and we just moved to Armenia. It's like a country near to Russia, and we were just started to figure out like our next steps about our future. Yeah, after that we just started our like world traveling with Turkey.
You couldn't live through that, and yeah, you decided to leave your country. That's basically what happened.
So yeah, it was absolutely like a political reason, because the business in Russia was great, and I wanted to build, all this culture in Moscow, in Russia, to travel inside with the master classes, and
because you were doing good over there, like before that whole thing started.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, I had customers in the barbershop. I've been to a lot of barber events, barber conventions, as a headliner, a lot of events, a lot of master classes. But yeah, because of the war, because of the dictatorship, we just left.
All right. So like, how do you find it so far? Like, I mean, you've been traveling a whole lot in the last few years. Is it something you're looking for, to find, like, you know, a new place where you're going to be able to say to call home one day?
Yeah, I think it will be the United States.
Yeah.
So we're still figuring out, like, in what state and what city we're planning to live. So right now I'm living in California, in Long Beach, and I really do love it. But I spent like almost all of my life living in a huge city, and because of that, I'm feeling super comfortable in New York, for example, and I'm dreaming to see Chicago and Florida and a lot of different spots. So this year, I think I have a goal to explore other states, other cities, and to figure out where we're going to stay for the future.
Yeah. As I told you before, I'm teaching to some young students that want to become barbers eventually.
Awesome.
I'm going to see them at the school next week. We have something to share with them, like what would you tell a bunch of people, or young people, or maybe a little bit older, that are starting, that want to start in this business, that want to start to be a barber, from your experience? If you'd have like one thing to tell my students in my class, and maybe all the other students in the world, what would you tell them right now?
So don't be afraid to make decisions, guys. It's super important, and don't be afraid to be yourself, because you're only one version of yourself, and please don't be afraid of that, like to show your own personality, because right now the barbering scene is huge, and you know, like to have your own vision, your own personality helps a lot, you know, to build your own audience, your own brand, like a personal brand.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
really important right now. Nowadays.
You gotta sell yourself, and you gotta make it for the right reason.
Absolutely.
All right. So, thanks for your workshop, Igor. Thanks for your time today. It was super fun to finally meet you in person. And, you know, hopefully one day you'll be able to cross to Canada and see our cold weather and the snow. But in the meantime, wherever you come up north in the States, well, we'll find a way to meet and have a good time.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, it was a real pleasure.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
It's not even fair. Oh, oh, the sauce. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This is the meat and the potatoes.